Hi, my name's Justin Cook. I'm the Principal Consultant leading our Systems Management and End User Computing solution sets at Data3. Okay, with Windows 8.1, Microsoft have added a number of visual and user enhancements. So I want to just take you through a couple of these as part of this demo. So the first thing you'll notice is when we jump back to the start screen, you can see that my desktop background is consistent with the background in my start screen. And you've got the ability to not only use your desktop background, but also use an image or a particular color scheme that you might like. You'll also notice that the icons are a lot different to what was available in Windows 8. We've got a lot more control over the size. So if I hold my finger down on one of these icons, we click the resize button, you'll see I've got 4 options now. We've got small, medium, wide and large. And we've also got the ability to control the live tile. So we can turn that on or off as we like directly from here. Now you'll also notice our grouping. So if I slide across here, it's easy to pick up an icon from one group and drag it across to another group, and that's saved. We've also got the ability now to simply name those application groups. So you can see I've clicked on this one, I'm going to type in utilities, and that's saved that name of that application group for us. Now if we swipe up, we're getting into the applications view, and this view gives us the complete visibility over all the applications that are installed within our system. Here we can see, on the first part, we can see all of the icon or the applications. But if we scroll across to the right, you'll see they're started to be grouped together via program groups like you'd be used to in previous operating systems. If I click on the by name at the top, we've got the ability to sort our applications in different orders. If I select by most used, based on my usage patterns, those applications will dynamically start to change depending on how often I use that. So we'll switch that back to name and then we're going to swipe back up the top. Now with our groups, in Windows 8, it was extremely difficult to be able to manage those groupings from an application perspective within our enterprise. With 8.1, we can build icon definitions, and those definitions can be pushed out to our end users via group policy so that we maintain consistency across our complete desktop fleet. Now, there was a lot of talk about the missing start button in the media since the release of Windows 8. So with 8.1, Microsoft have returned the start button to the bottom left-hand of the screen. If you click on that, it'll launch the start screen. When we're in the start screen, we can click on that and it'll take us back to desktop mode. We have the ability to build a shortcut menu by right-clicking on the start button, and you can see the shortcuts that are available there. We can add and remove to that list as we require. But Microsoft have also integrated the ability to shut down or restart your system directly from the desktop mode. In Windows 8, that was difficult. We had to jump across to the modern UI to perform that reboot. Now, if we right-click on our taskbar and jump into Properties now and go to Navigation, here's where we can start to really control the actual mode that we want to work in. If we predominantly want to work in the desktop mode, then you're better off setting it so that it defaults to the desktop when you log in and also when you close all your applications. If we leave it deselected, then it's going to predominantly operate in the modern UI. You can see we've selected the option to show my desktop background on the start. If you click that, you can see that consistency. But we can also automatically launch into the apps view when we load the start screen. And the apps view is when I swipe up, you can see all of the applications that are available. Now the search has also been enhanced in Windows 8.1. So selecting the Windows and the S key, you'll see by default it's going to search everywhere. If I click on the little down arrow, we can select which areas of the platform we want to search based on the criteria that we specify. So I'm going to, as an example, type wireless into there. And what you'll see return to the screen is we can see a number of different settings that we can control for the wireless. We can see a document that we found in my file system with the word wireless in the title. In addition, we've returned a number of search results from our Bing search engine directly into the search selection there. So I could easily go and select one of those options and it will launch me in there. Now there's also an enhanced mail client. So if I select on the built-in mail client, it's going to jump into my email, and you'll see I've got an attachment attached to that email there. So there's a new feature called app sharing. If you're in a modern UI application and you launch another application that's also a modern UI app, by default, it will automatically share the screen. So I'm going to click on that PDF there, and you'll see it's kept my email open on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, it's jumped into opening up that attachment for me. I've also got a lot more control over how much real estate each of those applications on the screen consume. And you can easily just drag that around and it will resize. Then once we're finished, we close it down. And the application that I was in previously will return to full screen. So the next thing I want to demonstrate is that Microsoft are really focusing on making your data available no matter where you are and what device you're using. And if I open up an application like Microsoft Word, what you'll notice is the default save location is SkyDrive, which is a real change from the previous platforms. So I'm going to click on Save. And you'll see here someone's SkyDrive. Now I appreciate in an enterprise that may not be the best solution, so we can control that by group policy and have it default back to your network locations or to your local computer as required. And the last thing I want to demonstrate is with Windows 8 there was a real confusion around where we go to manage settings. Do we go back to the control panel? Do we jump into the settings management in the modern UI? It was awfully confusing. With Windows 8.1, all of the settings in the control panel are available through the modern UI as well. So now we always know which location we go to, and that could be dependent on what is our preferred working environment. So I swipe from the right, I go to my settings, change my PC settings, and in here you'll see this looks significantly different to Windows 8. We can see PC and devices, we can see all the devices, all the settings related to the devices that we have installed, my accounts, all of my account type settings as well. So you can see that Microsoft have really made a focus on enhancing what was already a great platform, but making it better for organisations and enterprises to deploy to assist their end users being more productive.
There's a couple of ways you can explore Windows 8.1. The first would be we can bring some devices out, the Surfaces or some of our hardware partners' devices, and you can assess those and determine a fit for your environment, and also look at it, Windows 8.1. You can also look at the CIE, so the customer immersion experience, and that's a half or full day where you come and use the devices hands-on with some of the productivity scenarios using Office 365 in a combined environment. So you can get a feel for Windows 8.1 and the productivity tools at the same time. If you want to take that a step further, the other one would be the Windows 8.1 pilot service, where we can come out and deploy in a semi-production environment using assessment devices, Windows 8.1 with your production users, so they can actually get a feel for these scenarios and test what your data would look like and your applications within that environment. So it's a fixed price, fixed scope offering. And if you're interested in either the device assessment, the CIE or the actual pilot offering, please contact your Data3 account manager for more information.